It's a Grand Prix which has already seen a champion be crowned this time last season. Welcome along for the ride here at the Russian Grand Prix. Round 13 of the LCR calendar is ready to go once again here in Sochi. And let's have a look. Just a few minutes ago, we had a gripping and epic qualifying session, and here is your grid for it. So it's another pole position for Renault, and this time it goes to the other side of the Brazilian camp in Sira. Felipe's been the man in form in qualifying, but it's Sira who lines up on pole position today, with one of the main protagonists alongside him of ERL Tibor, who starts in P2, nicking that one very late on. Amaze sat on pole position for very long in the qualifying, but right at the end was pipped at the post by the two ahead of him. He starts from third, with Sira's teammate Felipe alongside him in P4, keeping up with his strong qualifying. It would have been Mulder fifth, but he's demoted due to a 5-place grid point. So it's Boris who starts fifth, with KJ alongside him in sixth. 2-5 for Alpha. That's a good display for them. Dralik starts from seventh, with Sims in eighth. That's not a good news for the championship protagonist of VSR Dralik here today. And row 5, right outside the top 10, LK and LCR Mulder, who, of course, as I mentioned, had a 5-place grid penalty to serve. And looking outside the top 10, fresh choice of tyres for them. We've been with a flying Finn Melanie. He starts from 11th, with the American of Brad, aka Julius Avenge, starting from 12th. Jolly starts from 13th, with LCR Apex on 14th on row 7. And at row 8, at the back of the field, VSR GC starts from 15th, and the man who had server qualifying ban, John Papp, in 16th. And as you can see, though, as we go to the formation, that drivers are thick and fast in the formation. That man, of course, is LCR Nut Head. Alongside me, as per usual, is the OG voice of LCR in F1, Ben, pleasure to have you here alongside me as always, and a lot, and I mean a lot, of late bloomers in that qualifying session.
Well, certainly so, yeah. Tibor right at the very end of the session, snatching the front row grid off his fellow championship protagonist, Amazed. All eyes for the Brazilian of Sira taking pole position yet again this season. Will it be his day? Well, he's got a lot to do to get there. 27 laps await him. A note, we have lost KJ during the session. He's rejoined, however his car is on the grid. And Mulder's penalty, yeah, he really shouldn't have that. So there's a genuine chance he might be restarting. Never mind.
Oh dear. This is not at all how we envisioned the Russian Grand Prix to go here, of course, in LCR. Has seen a few on and off patches this Grand Prix, of course, throughout the years on the LCR calendar. Of course, last season was won by Leopard, where ultimately he took the championship in that Grand Prix as well. It was Dralix and Jolly who joined him on the podium in that one. Then we had a season hiatus for season 6. Season 5, it was won by Dralix, Leopard and Mulder back in that incredible season that saw a points draw, a count-back victory for Leopard. Season 4 was one of the more classic Grand Prix of the calendar, where it was Fred's that took the victory, Leopard and Fens. And in Season 1, we had it as well, with Scorch taking the win, and same Mosquito and Fluffy Llama rounding out the podium. But we've already lost one before we've even reached Turn 1, and this Grand Prix does prove to be a bit of a car tester for the drivers and for the cars alike. So they've got to hold their own throughout the 27 laps. John Papp is the final man of only 15 because of the missing P6 slot, as LCR gets ready to create its legacy here in Russia. We get ready for the 5 red lights to pop on here at Sochi. The opportunity of a champion today. 5 red lights, and LCR Season 8 is off in Russia. Good start there from Sira. Not so good for Amazing. The second round looks like flipping on the side down towards turn 1. And Forrest getting involved as well. Sims getting past Dralix as well. Coming down towards turn 2 now potentially. Tibor's got the run because of Slipstream, and so is Amaze. He pops the outside line of the Frenchman. A long way round for the Sira. He's gone down the inside as well. Potentially Amaze trying to find the way past. Couldn't quite just yet. That's Felipe and Boris battling the way for P4. Sorry, come out towards turn 3 now. Just about Alpha and Renault. Alpha and Mercedes all battling away. Coming down towards turn 4. Amaze down the inside of Tibor. Don't think he can get the move done. Just about though, backs off. Boris though does get the move done on Felipe. Having a P4, might think a P3 as well. Coming down towards turn 5. He is down the inside of Amaze. Might have a great start here for the Alfa Romeos. Second and potentially third. Still alongside and does get past. What a start for Alfa Romeo. Not so good for one Renault and for one Mercedes, but Sira still safely leads, Ben.
It's a dream scenario away from Sira. Amaze falls behind Boris. P3, great start for the 2 Alfa Romeos. Alright, Tibor didn't take the lead, but it was still a very good start. I have a feeling there is a lot of lag on my screen for both Tibor, both Mulder and LK. I'm not saying for you, but good start from Jolly as well from P10. And, well, in fact, actually P9 now is down the side of Sims. Goes for a driver. would overtake Nick and him, but yeah, there was quite a bit of lag. I was watching from the midfield. Actually, two Red Bulls came together as well. Sims and Mulder. Sims actually hit Sims at the wall at turn 4, but hasn't picked up any damage from it.
Lap 1 done. Sira still leads. Tibor, Boris, amazed Felipe Dralex. Incredible start there with a lot of dueling going on. Actually, Boris up 2, amazing Felipe as a result, down 1. Dralex up from 7th to 6th. Mulder up from 10th to 7th. Good start for the Red Bull as well. Of course, the main attraction so far, I have to say, from the start, is probably Jolly up from 13th to 9th. And is the highest medium runner, so that could be a good opportunity for him to do the long game in the first stint and ultimately get the pace and the hammer down in the second with all these guys squabbling away on the softs. But currently, the two Alfa Romeos sit second and third, and I have to say, Tibor has been the primary breadwinner of Alfa Romeo this season, but Boris is more than certainly holding his own here in Russia. At one point, he was quicker than his teammate in qualifying, and now he's very much keeping him honest.
Certainly so. In fact, Boris had some very, very good performances recently. He's came 6th twice in the last 2 races, but in both those races he performed absolutely brilliantly. Especially in Belgium, where he crossed the line in P3, of course. So I think that was the crucial thing. But good for him to get a good result here. First points back for Alpha, but crucially,
he's actually just gone purple in the second sector according to the Delta.
Up to Boris, clearly. Performing greatly so far.
We'll talk about the Sira era. Could be looking at the Boris era in the years to come. You never know.
Why not? I mean, if Sira doesn't continue next season, we don't know. We genuinely don't know the people status next year. Amazed actually with the fastest up out of the entire group. In fact, they've already broken DRS to Felipe, which is quite a big DRS trade. So that's important actually. That's why they've been broken.
Yes, they now get the DRS because, of course, the detection zone is pretty much right where the activation zone is at turn 1. So they got it almost immediately as soon as they began lap 3. So no sort of waiting for the next lap opportunity.
Bit of contact in the back of the field there between GC and Melody. You see L20 turn 1 hit the back of Finn, who, I'm going to put it nicely, he's had a bit of an underwhelming season so far.
Yeah, one of my closest rivals last season was Melanie. We always went up on circuit together, but this season, yeah, it's not been the ideal one for the McLaren driver, but still a little while to go to improve that. And on the mediums at the moment, you know, he's the second highest medium runner out of all of this train. Of course, he's got Jolly just a couple of seconds up the road. He's currently actually putting LK honest at the moment, coming now down towards 13. No, actually, I think Jolly might have the run on him here, coming down towards turn 12 and then braking at turn 13. Round the outside he goes, and I think that's Team LCR understanding there, because Jolly has very much been sailed through by LK.
Yeah, or it's either that or the fact that LK physically can't see him very well because of the lag.
Could be, yeah. Oh, as meanwhile, sorry, a battle here. GC and Brad now going at it. The two McLarens at the back of the field, but they're giving the Haas a real ding-dong here at the moment. As now Brad going to the inside line at the penultimate corner. Not really your conventional overtaking spot. Now for the final corner, down the inside. This is the P13. Let's just put this on the cards here. Now Apex might get himself involved as well. Now coming down towards turn 1. It's actually DRS. Apex was thinking...
not Boris and Mulder, sorry. Mulder and Dralex. This is actually a big championship content. Championship implication. Sorry to cut across you there, Nut Head. Dralex, I believe, has cleared. Yes, he has. Dralex is the third to pick off the race. There's Mulder that gets a massive oversteer over through 4. Will the Dutchman come back? No, he does not. Dralex is through. I'm up in the P6. Now we'll start eyeing up Felipe. In fact, Maze lost DRS for Boris and Tibor.
He has. Consistency seems to be lacking for the Mercedes to begin things. Felipe's still struggling as well, and he might get himself in the window of Felipe, and that might sort of create a mini battle between them two. But Boris still sitting very comfortably in the DRS of his teammate, who's still just about got DRS to Sira ahead. And we know what Sira's like. If he can break that DRS, he could be in good stead. But here comes Mulder on the return of Dralex, down towards 13, went around the outside. Dralex was wise to that one though. But surely this could be another opportunity for Mulder to come straight back at him in the area that he lost the position, coming down towards turn 2.
Certainly so. I mean, he still got this great scratch to Boris KJ's session. Shape KJ disconnecting, but unfortunately that's the way how things go. Really close actually compared between Boulder and
Think about it for KJ. If it was 20 seconds later, he'd have been fine.
Pretty much, it's the unfortunate
that's the way
case.
You've got to look at it.
Boulder's very quick on the straight though. Very, very quick on the straight to the inside line. Goes Mulder and reclaims his position. And all of this is really hurting Alex. As it stands, he is knocked out of the championship battle. In fact, it would just be Sarah and Timo left, as it stands.
Yeah, who'd have thought that the man that was in the prime seat just had to get 5th today, did Alex, and currently down in 7th. It's still a long way to go, don't take that out of contention, but it's not been the ideal start for both Mercedes, really. Because, of course, Amaze has to get 3rd to keep himself alive, and he's in 4th, and Tibble currently in 2nd, so he's doing what he needs to do, but his teammates keeping him honest, and at the moment, you know, you have to say the early laps are looking favourable for Ciro. This is, as you mentioned at the start, this is his ideal start, this is what he really wanted. Still, Tibble is within an arm's reach of him.
It's not just within an arm's reach, he's one mistake from Sarah and he's possibly through. So it will be the first time we've seen Sarah make a mistake. Think on it all the way back to Australia. Where of course crashed out then thanks to a mistake. So anything's really possible. With T-Ball, I said, I made the call earlier on, this track is harsh for penalties. And that's going to be a big one.
The big talking point about that is we just got a 3-second penalty for going wide at the final corner, but he actually lost time to Syrah. So how do you constitute a warning despite losing? That doesn't make that much sense to me. It's that minor.
Did you play this game in 2017? Because it was worse back then.
Yes.
I know. 2017. You know what I'm referring to.
I know, but yes.
Would you prefer a warning? Would you prefer a warning for that or a 10-second time penalty?
I know. I shouldn't moan, but I can't help it. It's what we do with league races. We have to moan. Let's find something to moan about. Anyway,
very true.
Back to the action on track. So Dralex has dropped a bit back from Mulder and now is within the grasp of the medium runner Jolly. And you have to say, as you mentioned in qualifying, these tyres do wear quite quickly around here. So particularly for the guys at the front, the likes of Tibble, the likes of Boris, could we see an undercut on Syrah potentially? But speaking of which, Tibble's got very close to Syrah this lap.
I've been watching these through the entire lap. I didn't see any mistakes or anything from Syrah. I think T-Ball's just decided, sod it, let's have a quali lap. And maybe, just maybe, the Frenchman smells blood in the water. A look on the front right, mounts the curb.
Amazed in.
Already in.
That's a very good call.
6. End of lap 6. Amazed is in. Medium tyres go on.
Sims in as well.
Sims is just behind. Nothing really to lose. So Amazed will fall all the way to the back of the field, past Sims.
I think the thing is for Amazed, he had nothing to gain staying out because he was stuck in a window of no DRS.
Pretty much.
So by doing that, he can get the power down. Yeah. He was too far ahead of the cars in front. Tibble, massive moment there out of turn 5. That was close.
I called that on board with Boris. That looked sketchy. I think T-Ball's rears are gone. Boris is pretty close, whereby this riding board of pig, you can just start to see the tread of the tyre really starting to fall off now. I think his rears are completely shot. Will he let Boris go through? I presume he probably will. Here comes Boris' letterbox. Side by side with the 2 Alfa Romeos. And I believe Boris should need to take the place here now. T-Ball's not giving this up though. And this is maybe what Syrah wants. Yes, finally. T-Ball relents. Boris is just within the DRS. I presume T-Ball's going to be in with how much he's struggling.
Oh, he's in the wall! He's in the wall!
And Boris has come in!
Oh no, Boris is pit!
Oh.
They're both pit! It's an absolute disaster for Alfa Romeo.
Felipe stays out. DTO Felipe takes the race lead.
Tibor has now got a front wing change and a double stack.
I didn't see any damage on the wing. I didn't see any damage come off. No, his wing's fine by looks things. Syra is through. Syra is already out of the pit lane. Oh dear, I'm gonna run about the Tibor just see how far. He has got wing change. Yes. There was no visible damage, but I presume he probably got oranges from that. He's gonna need it.
That's unbelievable. That is absolutely unbelievable. And look at Amazed.
Amazed has got, well, Amazed on the back of Boris now, who has fallen 2.5 seconds on Sarah.
Something has desperately gone wrong. And I have to say, it all stemmed probably from the move of Boris getting past Tibor. Oh dear.
Yeah.
That is going to be a post-race conference that I am almost certainly going to want to sit in on between those two.
Well, Tibor's known for not being the calmest of man, especially ERL. But let's hope this doesn't blow up into something big at Alpha. I personally prefer not say Cesaris and Mario Andretti fight again. That's a very niche story. That's Scott Mitchell. We'll get about that.
So right now, so Sirius obviously pit lap 8 of 27. His teammate is now on his way into the pits. Mulder gonna follow suit. So the front two now pit, which now means Jolly's mode into the race lead. And the big probably talking point here is all the cars ahead bar Brad now for Syrah are on mediums, and they're going to be going longer. Traffic could really be an issue here for the Renault because a lot of people have opted for the alternate strategy.
Well, yeah, I mean, other than as you said, other than Blizzard, everybody in front of him is on the medium tyres, and that very well could be deadly for him. We'll have to see.
This could sow the seeds because, of course, you look at it. So look at the cars ahead. So obviously, Brad we're going to expect to come in shortly anyway. But then GC and Apex, they're battling for position. So they're not going to be in the lightest heart to completely get out of the way because they don't want to lose time. Then you've got Melanie a further 3 seconds up the road. Then you've got John a further 1.9. And then you've got 6 seconds to Jolly. But obviously, they're not coming in till probably around about lap 18, lap 19. That's 9 laps away, and given Syrah's pace, he's going to close them in quite exponentially.
So I mean, this race definitely isn't over yet, and as it stands, the demise of Tibor has brought back in the reign of Amazed. That's one way of looking at it, because now Amazed currently sits in that P3. Championship's still on. Oh, and Princess has crashed with Syrah!
Oh, Brad!
Syrah's lost loads of time! Syrah has damage! Syrah has damage!
Oh my god, he has! A plank of a wing, and Japan could be waiting for a championship hauling. Brad has crashed, and Syrah's got into him, and this is the big news. Boris is going to take the race lead on the inside line down towards turn 2. Syrah tries to fight, but surely with damage, Boris can persevere. And coming through towards turn 3, Syrah's still on the inside line. He is still going to try and fight as hard as he can, and does get back past. Down towards turn 4 though, no front wing. Opportunity for Boris still goes down the inside, and that could be crucial. Coming down towards turn 5 around the outside.
He's got it. No, he hasn't.
Boris has gone deep! Once again at turn 6, now this still remains Syrah in the lead. Boris is still punting him and hunting him. Now out of turn 6, he's literally punched him out of the way, and just about Boris takes the lead, but right at the DRS activation zone. Oh god.
Punt to pass has just been initiated. Syrah now with DRS is going to come back at the Alfa Romeo. And boy, is he coming back at him. Amazing split, GC just in front. Syrah sent it in with the front wing along the steer. Boris holds on, no. Boris stays in front, but he's struggling those rear tyres already. Amazed is probably sitting there thinking, just please crash and don't take me out with you. Well. And all of this, is helping Jolly. Get Jolly with this race.
It is. Fred made a very good point in the chat. This is all working perfectly for the man that's doing the alternate strategy in this one. But still, Sirra is trying to fight Boris, coming out of one. That's a fantastic run from the Brazilian. Going out towards turn 2. Boris goes late, very close there. Down the inside goes Sirra, and he does get past him on GC. Everything's still squabbling out the road. Coming down towards turn 3, long way round, and Boris actually backs off from that one. But Amaze is still right in the mix, coming down to 4, and just about Sirra retakes the lead. How is he holding on with that damage?
I've just recorded my point of view of that. I was on board with Sirra, and genuinely, I don't know. I hope Sirra's wearing brown trousers. Let's put it that way, because I'm not. I felt it for him.
I don't mean to jinx it, but they're now coming up to the battle between GC and Apex. Oh lord!
Didn't these two? If I'm right in saying Apex and GC came together in Italy as well, so there's a bit of animosity between those two. Boris is coming back out. Sirra, not quite yet. I'm just waiting for Amaze to send it. Boris gets a penalty.
Oh, Boris!
The frustration is huge. So Amaze is now in the best place out of everybody. And
so
also,
gap to Jolly for these three, 16.6 at the moment.
Felipe, as well as a note, this lap alone has taken 2.1 seconds out of the guys in front. This lap.
Well, here comes Sirra on GC, coming down towards turn 2. He's getting close. Is he going to try and send it? He is going to look to the inside line, down towards turn 2. Is GC going to think about letting him go? He sort of does, but Boris is now going to be ignited because he wants to get past. And I'm sure Amaze is probably thinking the same as well. Coming down towards turn 4, Boris is trying to get close, but GC is very much keeping him alive. Coming down to 4, GC goes deep, though that could be the opportunity Boris's needs, but GC runs deep, and in fact, with the runoff area, it was enough. But down towards turn 5, and this could be enough to regain the gap.
This is problematic, to say the least. Sirra is now actually in front of DRS. He's actually out of DRS to Boris. And GC's still inside to Sirra. This is heart-wrenching.
Oh, Dan's lost it! Apex lost it in the wall!
And that gives Sirra clean air.
Jinder Mahal drops the belt.
Again.
Oh dear. As meanwhile, GC's deep. Boris is running outside at turn 14. Long way round for the Alfa Romeo. Is he going to get the move done? Oh, heading up the hill climb. Surely this might be a defence from GC. Oh, he's hit him!
He's turned it on him! And Felipe! Hang on, Felipe's got Mulder! Where the hell has Mulder come from? Sorry? Where's Mulder come from?
Oh dear.
Felipe is now... So Amaze has taken a look. Right, hang on, I'm going to shut this all down and explain what the F has just happened. So Boris made contact with GC. Amaze had to go take a very slow way around. And then somehow, that's checked up Felipe, which has brought Mulder into this battle. Ow, my head!
All of a sudden, the Red Bull is a serious contender in this Grand Prix. I didn't think I'd be saying that. Jolly for a second time, John Pat for a second time penalty as well, simultaneously. Let's do a quick look at the 3 second time, because we also saw Boris to get one, which I have to say is surprising, because Boris is not usually someone to get it. Sirra does not. Sirra has 3 warnings, but no penalty. Boris 1 penalty, no penalties for Amaze despite 3 warnings, 2 warnings for Felipe, a penalty for Mulder, and up front, Jolly just picked up his first of the day, and John has now 2. Mel is actually clear. Fair play to Mel. No warnings in the first 13 laps.
The Sirra has 2 actual warnings. One of them was for the pit and exit. Same with Amaze. Exactly the same situation with Amaze. So both of them are, in essence, kind of screwed. Boris is back in DRS of Sirra. Heavily back in DRS. He's practically his arse again.
Yeah, and this could be about to be round 2 of Sirra versus Boris, and you have to say, this has probably been a new Boris Letterbox that we've seen in this Grand Prix.
Yeah.
I don't think I've quite seen him like this all of a sudden. It's sort of flicked a switch in his head. The Russian Grand Prix really has shown that Alfa Romeo from here on out is not going to be a one-man band. Tibor down in 13th after the issues that he had, as Mulder's gone the inside of Felipe down towards turn 2 and sails on past.
Yeah.
The Flying Dutchman continues to prove why he was the most Grand Prix victories in season 4.
Yeah, Mulder was phenomenal that season, and he's being phenomenal this time out. Question of Boris. I believe he has had a podium before, but has he ever tasted victory champagne?
He's won 2 races. He won Bahrain season 5 was his first victory. That was a very unusual Grand Prix. And he led the championship because, of course, Bahrain began the season back then. It was one of I think 5 championship leaders in that season, but not really. I don't think there's one since sort of that moment back then, other than maybe once more. I can't actually remember where that was. Maybe he's getting very close to the Syrah, coming through the final sector. Steady on, steady on, steady on.
Second time this race now, same corner. I have just nearly scared myself to death.
I remember he won again. He won the British Grand Prix.
Season 6.
Season 5.
5? I thought it was 6. No, 6 was Timo. Yeah. Yeah, so Boris does have 2 wins to his name. Fast lap goes to Mulder. Now, if Mulder gets in front of Amazed, Syrah's champion at the moment. Is he? Yes, Syrah's champion at the moment. Because Drolex needs to clear Felipe. And
Boris is right on him through towards turn 3. Here we go. Inside line at turn 4. Down the inside goes Boris Letterbox on Syrah. And I think this time Syrah is trying to find the answer down towards turn 5. Down the inside goes the Brazilian. This is really under the cosh stuff here for the Renault. And around the outside goes Boris Letterbox. And the net lead goes to the Alfa Romeo. Keep your heads on. Long way to go. But finally can see clearance ahead.
I thought Morris was going to go on the exit of turn 7 then. So loose at the rear end of that car. But it's like Syrah couldn't take advantage of it because his car looks even worse. The front wing damage, he's wrecking. I'm looking, the state of his front left tyre is abysmal already. He's maybe...
pressure that's been put on them.
They look terrible. T-Ball's just cleared GC for 11th as Jolly's in. 12 laps.
15 seconds separates Boris to Jolly as he pits on this lap. And look at the train that is there. There's also Melanie coming in as well, so he's not alone in doing the 12 laps on softs. Let's see where he comes out though.
12 laps on soft, it seems a little bit... I don't know, to me it seems excessive as John Pat cuts the first corner and gets a penalty. Say John... had a little bit... He had an interesting qualifying session. At least. He's doing okay in the race. Syrah is back on the back of Boris now. Looking at that damage, what would you say it is on Syrah's car?
I think that's got a bit at least orange because you can see it.
Yeah, obviously, if you can see it, it's obviously damaged, but... I think orange...
No, but that's my point, is we didn't see damage on Tibor's car, did we? And he had it changed.
Good point, yeah. Well, what if it's orange then? Orange damage, according to Codemasters, should lose you 7/10 a lap.
How much you should be flying.
Actual, yeah, that's a good point. If Boris breaks DRS, he's going to win. He's got a genuine chance of winning this race. Well, he's got a genuine chance of winning the race now, but if he breaks DRS, he might be able to pull 3 seconds he needs over Syrah to negate his penalty. It might actually be able to still do it. It might be able to do it, genuinely. Drop up against the penalty for speeding in the pit lane. That's basically his race over. Yeah, I think he has 9 seconds penalty as well, John, so he's maybe in a bit of a bad situation anyway.
He's had a torrid Grand Prix, and obviously he had the issues in qualifying with him, and now coming in the race, and it's just not been a good day at all at the office for the Racing Point. But he's still going,
Jolly's
along with the two Ferraris. But Jolly is flying at the moment. Gap between himself and Dralex 2 seconds, and then he's got Felipe over nearly 3 seconds up the road, and then gets past him and Mulder, and then he could be looking at this top 3 train, which is still being led by Boris Letterbox. And I could tell you from experience, Boris Letterbox and Jolly, those two are rivals that date back a very long time.
I caught a lot of it back in season 7, back when I never returned to LCR commentary. There was a lot of things that happened in that race. Also amazed is now on the back of Sierra.
And I think this was inevitable. It is Mulder gets a penalty, which I think might be his second of the day. Let's just have a quick look. It is his second.
Sure. Yeah.
And Felipe is still clean, so Felipe will actually still have him and get himself up into 4th place, provided we don't see a push from Johnny, because he's got a penalty as well over his head. Which I have to say, the one that I'm most surprised about penalty is I've raced against Boris and raced side by side with Boris. He never gets a penalty, just Boris Letterbox.
Very
true. To get one here is very surprising for me, but probably going to show how much he's pushing and how much he's determined for this race.
I used to see Drizzles as Mr. No Pens. He used to rarely get penalties in the early years of LCR. I don't think he's got any at the moment, but back when he was genuinely a very competitive driver, he was.
Here comes Jolly.
Oh, hello. Jolly
30
on
for
Jolly. This is great. I think it's over, to be honest, straight away.
Wow! I think that was a miscommunication. I think Dralex was pretty much content with letting him go, but Jolly took the outside line and got a penalty for it.
I think that might be taken off if Jolly gets investigated. It was his choice to go away.
Penalty.
T-Ball's out of it, unfortunately now. I don't want to put it like that. The only thing currently stopping this championship going on to Japan is Amaze. And Amaze rarely, if ever, makes mistakes unless he's battling for a championship. And at the moment, he only needs to fall to 7th. Amaze, he's currently P3, so I'll let Bar Puncher jump up to his T-Ball to commiserate his pain even more. Bar Puncher, I think Amaze is going to take this championship on. Dralex also will mathematically still be in it as it stands, but there'll be a 4-point buffer, so basically Sarah to knock him out would just have to finish 8th.
Yes, it still looks like Japan will be the crowning glory of Sirra, but here today it might prove that he's not been invincible again, because remember, of course, he didn't win last time out. That award after a phenomenal Italian Grand Prix went to Dralex, so he took that off the back of that one. And now this week it's been completely polar opposites for him.
I mean, as he stands, currently Sirra and May sit as a 1-2 in the final results, with Boris 3rd, as it stands. So it's a very weird circumstances, but either way, the championship does still carry on for Japan at the moment.
Can I be the one to point out that Sirra is comfortably continuing to maintain a gap to Amaze and still sitting in DRS of Boris despite having a plank for a front wing?
Yes, you can be the person who points that out.
That is just insane.
That is alien quality, still. Despite the fact that he has wing damage. Oh my god.
That's scary. That scares me. That physically scares me that someone can do that. Like, if I was Sirra, I'd have been pitting that lap. I'd have thought, I got damage, I'm just going to pit. I wouldn't have had a hope in hell of getting anything, but all of a sudden he's pulled it out of the bag. Meanwhile, his teammate is under threat here because Jolly has now joined the back of this queue. Coming out the final corner, and here we go, down towards turn 1. DRS should be wide open now. for the Toro Rosso. No DRS for Felipe because exactly a second. He nearly goes into the wall. That was lag then coming out towards turn 1. Down the inside goes Jolly on Felipe. And Felipe knew when he was beaten. Jolly now into 5th. And still beginning to hunt down this pack. Next up's Mulder. And then it's the front three.
Well, as all stairs they are for Jolly, he'll actually jump up into 7th place in the championship. So it's a good result for him. It'll be his first podium as well since Germany. Well, if he does it is, well, if he does get a podium, obviously. At the moment, he's ahead of Mulder on penalties anyway. And with Mulder now in DRS of Amazed, this just got interesting. Sarah's out of DRS. No, he's not. He just got it. Oh, he just got it.
I mean, if he does drop out of DRS, that could be clinical because the train will just compress.
Well, it will. If Sarah drops out of DRS, I think Boris is winner.
But he's got to get 3 seconds in 7 laps, which against Syrah is a tall margin.
Who has about 5 tenths advantage of everybody anyway. You've got to overcome the 5 tenths advantage.
2. With the 7 tenths, you've got 2 tenths.
Yeah.
that's the delta you've got to work with.
It's a very hard delta. Amaze is out. Amaze is out of DRS. And Mulder's on his arse. Oh, God,
and so is Jolly.
Again.
Oh, here we go. Down towards
Mulder's
3. Here goes the Toro Rosso. Will he lunge it? He might do. He's getting close. He's creeping close. He's got the inside. Down the inside on the helicopter. Cam goes Jolly. And into 4th. He goes. Takes Mulder's position away. And now we've got an interesting fight.
That was smart from Mulder. Didn't fight Jolly too hard. If I was Jolly, I would have just released him through turn 3. But smart decision. And now Jolly will get after Amaze. Is it possible for Jolly? Penalties play a factor.
6 seconds worth of penalties, isn't he? Obviously, we could get one time. We could be end up with a Tibble situation again. With the 6 seconds, is he going to take it off? We had that last week.
Not again. I hope I had too much. Well, the gas has just fallen off, so I can't see that thing.
Oh, Maze has gone deep. Maze has gone deep where you can't see. Around the outside goes Jolly at turn 14. And actually, Amazed, thinking better of it, lets him go. So Jolly is now into 3rd place, probably thinking of penalties there is the Scotsman. And now just under 2 seconds between himself and Syrah, and those softs are still probably going to feel good at this point. Oh dear, oh dear. Fight could be on our hands here as Syrah continues to get close to Boris. Coming down towards turn 1. Is he going? Sorry, turn 2. Is he going to think about a lunge? He's not really on for that time round. Of course, all this allows is just that little bit of an opportunity to Syrah to keep the gap to Jolly and just prolong the time potentially before those softs do begin to turn, because they will be sooner rather than later. We appear to have lost Ben at the moment. What's gone on? But nevertheless, Syrah and Boris are squabbling away for the lead here. On lap 22 of 27, what has been a very cagey affair here in Russia. It's been a mixed bag of Grand Prix as Boris a bit deep there out of turn 10. This could be an opportunity for Syrah. Good exit here. Gets the DRS coming down towards turn 13. He's going to close and close in this section. It's a very long straight here. Coming down towards the King of 12 and breaking for 13. He's getting close. Picks out the outside line for Syrah. In the end, probably breaks with the damage. But again, all this is allowing is a 5-way DRS train.
I'd like to point out 2 things. 1, right, we now have a massive DRS train. 2, GC has 18 second penalties. 3, how is Syrah back on the arse of Morris? And Johnny's right.
Crazy.
Like, right there.
He is. But here comes Sirra on Boris, down towards turn 1. He's going to get close. So turn 2, cups himself out, goes outside line, long way round for Sirra. Can he get the move done? Boris breaks late as he can. Jolly tries to get himself involved as well in the background. He might think about an opportunity here. Sirra, though, he might be boxed in here at turn 3 because Jolly is on his outside. Can he hold the outside line? Can the Toro Rosso? Yes, he can. He filed past Sirra, and now 1 car between Jolly and the race lead. Of course, not officially, because he's got to get time to both Sirra and Boris ahead. But crucially, Sirra drops the position, and a brilliant opportunistic moment for Jolly. He's in the second. Fantastic work, and look, Mulder gets another penalty. That's not good news at all for the Red Bull. But out of turn 10, here we go. Here comes Jolly, DRS open, and this should be a fairly easy move for the Toro Rosso. He's going to pop himself to the outside line because Boris has gone defensive on the inside. Long way round for the Toro Rosso under the brakes. Has he got the move done? Boris has gone defensive. There's contact between the two. Boris into a half spin. I think Sirra might go running outside him. Yes, he will. Jolly takes the lead. Ruthlessly, though. I think it was because Jolly covered off the dive bomb, and that's led to contact. Yellow flag in sector 1. Not too sure what that is for, but Jolly now leads. Sirra's up to second, and Boris is down to third. Oh, where does this Grand Prix turn next? Lap 24 of 27 here. 4 laps to go of the Russian Grand Prix here in LCR. And here comes Mulder on a maze coming down towards turn 2 for P4. Of course, on penalties, it's really not. But here goes Mulder. Thinks about a lunge. Doesn't get the opportunity of doing one. And now they remain the same. Oh dear.
This one note. I'm not sure you've mentioned this because I've been a bit intermittent the last few laps. This is about the time now where Jolly's tyres are going to start to go off. Based on current form.
Oh, GC.
I knew! I was about to mention nobody has retired from this race yet. Yeah, nobody retired, just somebody got disqualified. Okay, strip it off, please.
VSR GC disqualified from the session for many penalties. Okay. Oh, VRC, sorry. That's an instinct, that one. There's too many VSR drivers these days, so I keep saying VSR.
VSR Country, oh wait.
Oh, VSR KJ, oh wait.
Oh! It's
true! Come on!
You want to bring up dead meat, VSR Ollie Smithson, mate.
Oh god, yeah, I remember that one. Commentate on that, TLD Kingdom Season 2, Inverse Kingdom 25. But meanwhile, back to the action, 3 laps to go. Jolly, Sirra, Boris, Amaze, Mulder, all within a second of one another. It's kind of the stuff you dream about when you commentate on league racing stuff about battle like this.
It's phenomenal, this battle at the moment, and it's still ongoing, and it's still brilliant. Melanie picks a penalty towards the back of the field. Melanie's actually got himself into the points. Good, Melanie. Also, John 7th. How did he manage that? Hang on, John 7th. He's on the back of Felipe.
Had a good job. He had a fucking. Sorry.
Oh,
sorry.
There we go.
Amaze has got a penalty. Amaze picks up a penalty. So that means Boris is going to get a podium, and the championship is going to be over. No, it won't, because Jolly.
No, it will. Right, I'm going to do some. No,
Boris penalty.
6 seconds. That's it. No, championship's fine. Championship's fine now, I think we will start the championship battle.
Sirra wins. Sirra wins. Amaze second.
Felipe's in DRS. Felipe's in seconds.
Felipe
and he's okay.
Third, would he?
So Jolly gets 6 seconds. He's not 6 seconds clear of Felipe. Sirra moves down 3 seconds.
Felipe's going to finish third.
I think Felipe might come second. No, mine's third. I think Sirra's going to win with Felipe second. We're going to have a Renault Pod too.
Oh my goodness! And they're second and 6th.
Yeah,
that's what's just mad. They sit second and 6th.
Italy was
2 laps to go.
We thought Italy was bad. So I think Sirra's going to win. Felipe's second and May's third. I think.
Thibault's
retired.
Gone. He's retired in the
retired
pits,
in the pit lane.
and that's the end of the championship conquest
Yeah.
for the Alfa Romeo. Another season, in my opinion, for Tibor that's gone.
Season 6 looks promising. It's gone now.
Season 5 looked promising.
Yeah, Season 5 looked promising as well. Both of them fall apart.
Focus on getting a good end of the season, but there's still an extra mix in this bag.
Jolly's getting very close to breaking that gap to Felipe. And if Jolly can break 3 seconds to Amazed, which he's getting close to doing...
Oh my goodness me. Oh, this is going to be checker flags up. And also as well, to help Jolly with Felipe, John is right behind him.
John isn't right behind him, John's buried behind him. And Mulder as well is looking feisty with Amazed, and don't put it past Mulder to absolutely send one. Boris hits Sarah. Boris has hit Sarah completely out of the way.
Oh
Boris
no!
is through. Sarah's got a problem. Boris punts him out of the way. And Boris is through in a P2. Sarah falls to P3. Amazed at the wall. Amazed at the wall's got damage. Amazed has damage.
Speechless. Absolutely speechless. 1 lap to go, and it all of a sudden falls apart before our very eyes. The structure that we somehow managed to get together like a Jenga tower has been crushed at the very first hurdle. 1 lap to go of the Russian Grand Prix, and it's all turned on its head.
Season 5 came down to 6 tenths of a second. I've got a bad feeling it's going to come down to even less today. Oh, it's literally a matter of matter.
Jolly needs to be just the best lap we've ever seen.
Jolly is clear of Mulder. Jolly, I think, is getting a podium if he finds 3 tenths. And if he finds 3 tenths, I think he's got it.
Oh. I can't believe this. Few corners left to go for the Toro Rosso. He started 13th after an abysmal qualifying, and you wondered, could he get anything out of this Grand Prix? But he kept his home. He'd done the alternate strategy, the same with John as well, for the both of them.
He's clear of Felipe. Johnny's clear of Felipe. He's got the 6 seconds.
Comes out to 6 seconds. John has gone for a move late on at Felipe, which is going to help him even more, just in case Jolly makes a mistake. Now the last few corners. Here we go towards the line. Where is everyone going to finish? We have no clue. Round the final corner comes Jolly to potentially take a podium, but we don't know. Jolly takes the checkered flag. Boris stays where he is. Sirra wins. Amazed goes on the third. Jolly is second. Where is Felipe? He's now around the final corner. He's only fifth. So it's Sirra that wins the Russian Grand Prix. Jolly comes home second. Amazed third. Boris fourth.
Boris missed out penalty. Again. Penalty. Podium.